All right, good morning. So this is a Calc 2 problem. We're doing partial fractions. So the problem in question is something like, let's go ahead and draw. Okay, we have integral dx over x squared plus 5x plus 1. So wait a minute, you can't factor this. How is this partial fractions? Well, we're going to force the issue. Okay, so what we're going to do is complete the square on this thing. So I'm going to take it out of the integral for a moment. We have x squared plus 5x. I'm going to say, well, my b term, right, middle term, is 5b over 2 is going to be 5 halves. And then we're going to have b squared over 4, that is 25 fourths. So we're going to go ahead and add our 25 over 4, subtract our 25 over 4, plus, I'm going to call this one 4 over 4. Okay, just doing have common denominators there. So what we end up with is x squared plus 5x plus 25 over 4 minus 21 over 4. 25, negative 25 plus 4, negative 21 over 4. Now we can go ahead and factor this part right here. So this is equal to x plus 5 over 2 squared, because that's how completing the square works. And we have a minus 21 over 4. Now, the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to say, you know what? I don't want to look at this. So we're going to say let u equals x plus 5 over 2. When you make a substitution in calculus, the first thing you do is take its derivative because we have to know how to scale this thing. In this case, du is just dx. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Okay, so we're going to go back and say, okay, we have a du over, and now I have a u squared, right? That's my x plus 5 over 2 squared. Okay, minus 21 over 4. Now this is just the difference of two squares. So this is equal to du over, okay, and I have u minus the square root of 21 over 2, u plus the square root of 21 over 2, right? And now we're going to use partial fractions to say this is going to be a over, we're going to say u plus the square root of 21 over 2 plus a b over u minus the square root of 21 over 2. Okay, now we've got to deal with this. So we're going to solve our partial fractions, and I'm going to do this the long way. So we're just going to have a over u plus the square root of 21 over 2 plus b over u minus the square root of 21 over 2. This is equal to du at the end. Okay, we're going to clear the fraction, so I'm just going to multiply by u squared minus 21 over 4. Okay, that's going to clear out all of my fractions here. So what we're going to have here is a times u minus the square root of 21 over 2, okay, plus b, and then we have u plus the square root of 21 over 2, and this is just equal to du on the other side. Okay, I'm going to call it 1 du. And then we're going to go through and multiply through our fraction here. So I have au plus the square root of 21 over 2a plus bu plus the square root of 21 over 2. Something should be minus. Who should that be? This one should be minus. Okay, and this is equal to du. Okay, so going to an equating coefficient. So I'm looking for all the u stuff. Okay, so I'm lining up my u's. We have a plus b, that's all the u, that's all the u. How many u's are there? There's a du, but there's no actual u's. So this is equal to 0. Again, we're going to call this 1. I'm going to move this du off to the side because I'm going to try to just solve the partial fractions here. And we have the square root 21 over 2a plus, is there a plus? I think there's a minus in there somewhere. Let's go ahead and make that clear as a minus. Okay. So we have a negative right here. That's this minus right here. Okay. Plus square root of 21 over 2 with AB. And this is going to equal 1. Okay, because we only have one constant term over here. The du we push off to the side because we don't have d's anywhere in this. So push this guy off to the side. We're just going to go ahead and set this equal to 1. Okay, and then we have this system to solve. Okay, right now we can say I think that b is equal to negative a from this line. And then I'm going to pull this negative a. I'm going to say, okay, we have the square root of 21 over 2 b, that negative a turned into a b, plus the square root of 21 over 2b, that's this guy right here. This is equal to 1. Okay, so 21 over 2, square root of 21 halves, plus square root of 21 halves is equal to the square root of 21. Okay, equals 1. So b is equal to 1 over the square root of 21. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm gonna factor this out because it's common to both a and b. Since b is equal, or a is equal to negative root 21, we're just going to go ahead and factor this out. So going back up here, we're going to have 1 over the square root of 21. Okay, and then going back up, what was my a? We're going to call a was negative b, so we're going to have a negative a here. So we have a negative 1 over, okay, and this goes back to u plus the square root of 21 over 2. Okay, I like to put the constants all the way on the outside if I can, just because when I want to integrate, I want 1 over u du. I want this as clean as possible. So if I have an extra constants in there, I try to move them off to the side so it's real easy for me to see what's going on with what my integration steps are going to be. And I have a u. It looks like a minus. Yeah, there's a minus root 21 over 2. There we go. All right. And then we have to integrate this thing. We'll put the du back in now. Okay, and we're just going to integrate. All right, so it looks like we're going to have 1 over, oh, excuse me. Okay, and resuming, there we go. So now we're in our integration step. So let's go ahead and integrate this thing. So we have 1 over the square root of 21. Let's go ahead and integrate. We have negative ln of u plus square root of 21 over 2 plus ln u minus the square root of u, or square root of 21 rather, 21 over 2. And I'm going to go ahead and clean this up a little bit because we have a negative sign with a natural log. So we're going to go ahead and make that pretty. So we have the square root of 21 over 21 rationalized by denominator. You don't have to do that, but it looks more aesthetic to me. So that's what I'm going to do. We'll go ahead and have our absolute value here. And then we're going to say this is u. Actually, instead of u, can we go back to the x's now? What was x? Going back up to x, that was x plus 5 halves. So let's go ahead and change this all the way back to x's so I don't forget to do it later. So we have x plus 5 over 2 plus the square root of 21 over 2. And then we're going to have on the bottom, sorry, that's a minus right here. That's, yeah, that's a minus. That's a plus. Ah, shit. Let me redo this first. Here we go. We have u minus, there we go. We're picking this one. This guy right here is coming in my top. And then my bottom, because of this negative sign, we're going to say this is going to be u x plus. There we go. X plus 5 over 2, and we have our plus square root of 21 over 2, and that put our C. Okay, the last thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and multiply a 2 over a 2 inside of my natural. Don't pull this out, but we're going to have a 2 on the inside of our natural log, 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom, just to get rid of all the fractions to make it look pretty. So we have the square root of 21 over 21. I have the natural log of, we have a 2x plus 5 minus the square root of 21. I'm just pulling this 2 in and multiplying everybody by that 2, divided by, and we have a 2x plus 5 minus, nope, sorry, plus the square root of 21. All right, plus our C, box up our answer, and there we go. We are all good to go as how to go ahead and do that all with partial fractions. Okay, I hope that was helpful, and thank you for watching the video, and I will see you on the next one.